Welcome to Module 8. We are almost done. Yay! How's our course project going? Let me know. How is it going? Are you liking it so far? Are you enjoying it? Do you like the process? You should have submitted your first draft by now. So I'll be expecting your final edited version and I can't wait to read the amazing things you have for me. But before then, let's get into Module 8. This module is super exciting because we'll be talking about standing out as a content writer. I mean, the world is filled with content writers. So, how do you stand out? We'll talk about creating your writing style, personal branding, how to awaken your reader's senses, and writing techniques. Stay tuned. This module's quote states, description begins in the writer's imagination but should finish in the reader's. This means that even as the writer, you want to pass on whatever feelings you had while writing to your readers as they read your content. So whatever descriptions you had in your mind as a writer, that description, those descriptions should be transferred to your readers' imaginations as well. Now, let's talk about standing out as a content writer. Standing out requires distinct voice, intentional branding, and engaging writing techniques. Now, how to stand out? Develop a clear writing style. Develop a clear writing style. Understand your niche deeply. I want you to understand your niche deeply. As a writer, you can't be all things to all people. This is by an expert, Jeff Goins. Is telling us that we cannot be all things to all people as a writer. The best works are written with a specific focus in mind, and that focus attracts a particular group of readers. Interestingly, sticking to one topic or argument attracts people outside your target audience. If somebody sees that you're very consistent in your niche, in your area of interest, they're going to follow you. They would want to follow you to hear more because they feel like this person has built an authority in this space. So, how to stand out? Develop a clear running style, understand your niche deeply. Even if you feel like you don't have a niche now, you can have a broad niche and narrow it down later. Deliver consistent quality. Always choose quality over quantity. I know the world is saturated with so many posts, but you don't have to be like that. Just make sure you deliver quality. Choose quality over quantity and deliver the quality consistently. Offer unique insights or perspectives. Yes, there is nothing new under the sun, but you can also bring your own twist to whatever content you're getting from someone else. If you're getting an idea from someone else's content, do not copy and paste. Make sure you offer your unique perspectives, your insight, your examples, your tone, your voice, your personal style. Okay? And write with authenticity. Again, we want originality. We don't want copy and paste because original is always better than fake. Yes. Let's talk about Chimamanda for a second. In case you don't know who Chimamanda is a Nigerian author and she's written a few books, amazing books. And this excerpt is from Americana. Now, I'm going to read carefully and please do listen carefully. She was all made up, her complexion glowing, and he thought, as he often did, what a beautiful woman she was. Eyes perfectly almond shaped, a stately symmetry to her features. Her crushed silk dress was cinched tightly at the waist and made her figure look very hourglassy. Now look at this. What do you think Chimamanda is trying to describe? She was describing the fitting of the dress worn by the lady in question. And in this excerpt, she doesn't only tell the readers that the dress fits the lady perfectly, but she also shows it to them. Remember what I said? Show, don't tell. She described it using elements such as imagery. Remember that we're talking about how to stand out as a content writer. one thing that should be in your mind as a content writer is, how do I show my readers my imaginations? Think about this. How do you show your readers your imagination? Remember, it begins in your head, but it should finish in your reader's head. It begins in your imagination, it begins in your mind, but it should finish in your reader's imagination, it should finish in your reader's mind. Chimamanda also described the character's eyes. Does it just say, oh, she had beautiful eyes? Describe the shape and how sharp the eyes are. That is imagery for you. Imagery is a good writing element. So if you're going to poetry, if you're going to film production, or if you decide to be a script writer, these are great elements for you to include: imagery, description, showing your readers, not telling them. Now, Chimamanda also described the lady's beauty and curvy body. However, do you know what some writers would have? She had beautiful eyes and the dress fitted her perfectly and brought out her curves. That's boring. Don't say figure eight. Instead of figure eight, what did Chimamanda say? She said, it made her figure look very hourglassy. You should know how an hourglass shape. You should know how an hourglass shape is eight. We don't need to know it's figure eight. So don't get me wrong. The sentences that I also mentioned before are good sentences. The two sentences, Chimamanda's sentence and the one that I used, they are good. But to stand out in content writing, you don't do good sentences. We do the detailed descriptions. We do detailed sentences. Let's talk about creating your writing style. Your writing style is your unique way of expressing ideas. Remember the previous slide we talked about Chimamanda's use of imagery as one of our writing styles. Yours doesn't have to be imagery, but your writing style should include your tone, your voice, your word choice, sentence rhythm, and structure. Now let's look at the ways you can develop your writing style. Number one is to write consistently. Style develops over time through practice. You don't wake up in the morning and develop a writing style. You do this by writing consistently, because your style will develop over time and through practice. Number two is to read widely. Expose yourself to different writers, expose yourself to different writing styles, because these will help you recognize what resonates with you. Imagine if you've just been reading Chimamanda's book and you're like, yeah, imagery is good, I'm going to use them as my writing style. And then you don't practice using imagery, you're going to get stuck. So read other authors. Do not just read romance, do not just read motivational books, read other kinds of books, because this will help you recognize what resonates with you. The third way to develop your writing style is to identify your strengths. Think about your everyday conversations with people you talk to or talk with. Are you conversational? Are you analytical? Are you inspirational? Or do you think you're straightforward and concise? So identify your strengths so that you play within your strength. Then avoid imitation. I know you have a favorite author. For me, Francie Rivers is my favorite author, but I'm not going to copy and paste our writing style because we write differently. I know you have a favorite author. I know you love their style, but that doesn't mean you should forsake your writing style and copy your authors. I want you to stay authentic. Be authentic. Your style should feel natural and sustainable. You are you for a reason and you are unique. So I want your uniqueness to reflect in your writing. Our write differs from how you write. We might have a few similarities, but there would always be a difference no matter what. For instance, repetition is one of my writing styles. If you read a poem that I've written, you would notice that I love to repeat words a lot. Not because I don't have words to use, but for the sake of emphasis. So, whatever it is that you're comfortable with, please play within that. And of course, expose yourself to other writing styles. But again, do not imitate others, be authentic. Let's talk about personal branding. Personal branding is how you present yourself as a content writer. Personal branding communicates what you specialize in, what values guide your work, and what makes you different. Think of Louis Vuitton. What do you think about what logo comes to you? If you see Medicis logo, you know that yes, this is Medicis Benz. If you see Rolls Royce, you see the logo, you know that this is Rolls Royce. That is personal branding. So think of personal branding as your badge, as your style, as your logo. It communicates what you specialize in, it communicates what values guide your work, and what makes you different. Now, let's talk about elements of personal branding, your niche or your focus area. Your niche or your focus area. If someone comes to your page, if someone stumbles on your website or on your content or on your Instagram post, what comes to their mind? Oh, this person is a Christian. Oh, this person is a medical doctor. Oh, this person is a student. Oh, this person is a food content creator. Oh, I get it. That makes sense. Okay. I'm also looking for ways to improve my finances. I can follow this person. She talks about financial goals. So that's good. See, that's personal branding for you. So you need to think about your niche or your focus area. Another element of personal branding is consistent tone across platforms. Consistent tone across platforms. You want to be conversational. If you're conversational, choose to be conversational across all your platforms. If you want to inspirational, choose that tone. If you want to be motivational, choose that tone. If you want to be very energetic, make sure that tone is consistent. You use that tone consistently across all your platforms. Another element is professional online presence. This means the use of LinkedIn or any other professional platform. You don't just want to be on Instagram, you also want to build a professional presence so that people who are not on Instagram will find you on other platforms. Another element is social media presence. Social media presence, if it's relevant, um, be there. If you want to be a creator on Instagram, please be on Instagram. Don't just get stuck on Facebook, be on Instagram. Another element is portfolio quality. What is in your portfolio? If a client asks for your portfolio, what are you going to give that client? Your portfolio needs to have good quality. Now, you might be thinking why personal branding matters. I mean, it's not like I'm going to open a fashion store. Like I said earlier, personal branding is your logo, is your badge, okay? But in the content writing space, personal branding builds credibility, it attracts ideal clients, it creates recognition, meaning that if somebody sees your writing anywhere, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, product description, YouTube, script writing, they know, oh, this is Abosade's writing. I know her writing style. I know her voice. So this is why personal branding matters. Personal branding also matters because it differentiates you from other writers. What makes you you? What makes you unique? That's what personal branding does to you. So your brand is not just what you say, it is how consistently you deliver value. Today, you don't want to be a food content creator, and tomorrow you're a relationship coach. Choose one. I love this specific topic, how to awaken your reader senses. Let's get into it. Engaging writing goes beyond facts. Content writing goes beyond content. It helps readers visualize, feel, or imagine experiences. So when you say you want to awaken your reader senses, it means you're telling your readers that, hey, I want you to visualize what I'm saying. I want you to feel what I'm saying, and I want you to imagine what I'm saying. So let's talk about awakening your reader senses. Now, these are the techniques to engage your reader senses. Use descriptive language. Instead of saying the room was nice, use the room was filled with warm light and the faint scent of fresh coffee. Now, there is the sense of sight, and there is the sense of smell. Okay? So your reader is reading, oh, the room was filled with warm light, and then they're picturing it, they're imagining it. Okay, and then there's also a faint scent of fresh coffee, and they're like, oh, they could literally, like literally think about the smell of coffee. That is the power of descriptive language. Another technique to engage your reader's senses is show, don't just tell. I feel like I've mentioned this many times and you're probably tired of it, but I'll keep saying it until you get it. Show, don't just tell. An example of telling your readers is, she was nervous. She was nervous. But if you want to show your readers instead of telling them, use this sentence. Her hands trembled as she reached for the microphone. Her hands trembled as she reached for the microphone. You would know that means someone is nervous. So show, don't just tell. Another technique to engage your reader's senses is to use specific details. Use specific details. An example of a vague sentence is, I waited a long time. A long time can mean different things, so you need to be specific on how long. Imagine the specific sentence. I waited for 40 minutes in the rain before the bus finally arrived. Now your reader could put a specific time to your waiting period and what you were waiting for. So I waited for 40 minutes in the rain before the bus finally arrived. Learn to use specific details. You don't want to be vague. You want to give something your readers can work with. Another technique to engage your reader's senses is to appeal to their emotions. Appealing to your reader's emotion does not mean be dramatic. It does not mean saying, oh, she cried, she wailed, she bawled her eyes out, she did this, she did that. No, 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 no. It means making the reader feel something. Now, this is a neutral sentence. Content writing requires practice. This is a specific sentence. Your first draft might feel clumsy, but every awkward sentence is a step closer to confidence. I hope you know what kind of emotion this is, inspirational or motivational. So you're telling your readers that you do not have to feel bad. You do not have to feel bad about your first draft feeling clumsy. It's just a step closer to you getting more confident. That is appealing to emotion. See, there's no drama here, but you're just telling your reader something that will make them feel that particular emotion you want them to feel. I hope that makes sense. Now let's look at some writing techniques. Here are good writing techniques for you. Number one, active voice. Active voice. Active voice is clearer and more direct. I know in a research paper, it's almost impossible to do away with passive voices, but if you're writing short form content, Instagram captions, Instagram posts, blog posts, learn how to use active voices. For instance, this is an example of a passive voice. The article was written by the author. If you want to change this into an active voice, simply write, the author wrote the article. Look at how many words you've cut out from this sentence because you used active voice. The author wrote the article instead of saying the article was written by the author. Another writing technique is to use strong verbs. Use strong verbs. Strong verbs make your writing dynamic. Strong verbs make your writing dynamic. For instance, she made a decision. She made a decision. Okay, that is an example of a weak verb, but if you want to use a strong verb, just say she decided. Like final, she decided. Another technique is to use transitions. Transitions improve flow between ideas. So use however, for example, for instance, in contrast, as a result, furthermore, like use the smooth transitions so your paragraphs still stay connected to each other. And another thing that I want you to do when it comes to writing technique is to avoid filler words. Remove unnecessary phrases like very, really, or in order to. If you want to use in order to, you could just simply use to, to. You don't need to say in order to or due to the fact that. Just say because of. If you want to describe someone being extremely beautiful, you can just say that person is beautiful. There is no need to say that person is very, 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 very pretty. Lots of varies. You don't want that. Just say that person is beautiful. If you want to say somebody is amazing, do not say that person is very amazing. Just say that person is spectacular. So avoid unnecessary phrases. Now let's wrap this module up. In this module, we've talked about standing out as a content writer. One thing I want you to take away from this module is how you can learn to appeal to your readers' emotions. However, don't overwhelm your readers with sensory details. I'm not saying you should describe the sand. I'm not saying you should describe so many things at once. Just make sure that you appeal to your readers' emotions. Do not go overboard. Do not be dramatic. Standing out as a content writer requires a clear and authentic writing style. It also requires a consistent personal branding, engaging sensory details, don't go overboard, don't do too much, strong intentional writing techniques like the one we looked at previously. What truly sets you apart as a content writer is your voice, your originality, clarity, and human insight. People want to know what you think. So be authentic, be original, bring your perspectives to the table. I hope you're almost done with your course project because the deadline is coming up soon. If you feel like you need to change a few things in your project, by all means do so. Just ensure that you give me what I want. I want a final edited version of your first draft. I'll see you in the next module. Bye for now.